Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, simply called Angela Williams. And this is about my broken ankle journey. For those of you who just now joining, maybe don't know, I broke my ankle about 2 years ago, broke all the bones in my ankles, dislocated and everything, the worst breaks of the breaks, okay? So it's been a very difficult journey. So I'm just talking about it in hopes to help someone else who's maybe going through this or has gone through this and still healing through the process, because I'm still actually healing from the process. But you'll know more about that as I go on. I've already recorded some previous videos. I made a playlist, so if you haven't watched those, it talks about the beginning, leading up to the surgery and after the surgery, getting the cast on, getting the cast off. And now the last video I left off with was me being in a walking boot. Okay, I'll post a picture of that real quick up here. But yeah, so the doctor said I can now be like between 50% to 100% weight bearing. Not full throttle, 100% weight bearing with the walking boot. And I still have crutches. But he was like, kind of ease into it. And you kind of have to gauge, like, okay, I'm putting like maybe 50% of this. I'm putting like, 25% of this or whatever weight. You kind of got to gauge it when you're on your crutches and your walking boot, okay? But I was going to start, he gave me what they call a prescription for physical therapy. I'll show a picture of that next as well. All right, so you saw a picture of the prescription for physical therapy. You actually have to have a prescription for physical therapy. And then they give you a list of places to go that does physical therapy. And I try to pick a location that was close to my house. I was still able to work from home. And I was just trying to pick something that was close to the house where I could like maybe go early in the morning before work, or go in at lunchtime, or go in the evening, after work. So I wasn't trying to like take, a lot of time off from work, to make it work for me. So that was one of the reasons that I picked the location that I picked that was closest to my house. It was Benchmark. I think it was called Benchmark. And I'll show a picture of that as well following this. But I was beginning to walk. Like I said, put weight on my ankle. It's my left ankle that was broken. And y'all, let me tell you, after you've had your foot up and your ankle up off the ground, not putting pressure on it, when you start, like, even though I was in a walking boot, that walking boot you saw earlier, even though you're putting pressure on it, your foot and ankle is gonna swell. And when I say swell, it ain't gonna be a pretty swell, because even though I had the surgery, I had got the bandages off, got a cast on that I had to wear for 3 weeks, as you saw in the previous video. I had got the stitches out. Well, I had staples. I got staples out, but your wounds are still healing. And at this point, I still couldn't get my, I couldn't submerge my ankle fully in water until that healed, until the scabs fall off. That's where it's healed and it's sealed up. No water can get in there because you don't want to risk infection. So y'all, I'm going to show y'all some pictures next. I'm going to put the disclaimer up because they're a little bit graphic, because after you start walking on your ankle, it swells. And you're still supposed to be elevating your ankle. Excuse me, still supposed to be elevating your ankle and icing your ankle. Not as often as you was in the beginning, but you got to get that swelling down. You got to get off it sometime and let your ankle rest and elevate it. Let that blood flow back towards your heart, so all the blood don't flow towards your ankle and cause it to swell. So the next pictures you're going to see is I've been walking on my ankle, and this is just a day. The pictures you're going to see, I was only walking on my ankle for that day, because trying to get back in the swing of things. And yeah, so I'm going to put a disclaimer up because they're not that graphic, but some people might be queasy. So but here you go. All right, so y'all saw those pictures of my foot and my ankle, just fat, swollen. The scabs are still on because it's still healing. I talked about earlier about compression socks. In some of my previous videos, you might have seen I had a white compression sock on my right leg, not the left leg, because of course it was wrapped up in bandages most of the time or in a cast. But now I have the walking boots, so I now can put a compression sock on the left leg for the left ankle, and that helps reduce swelling, when you're walking and put pressure on it again. Y'all, them compression socks, ooh-wee. They're compression socks for a reason. And in my previous video in the description, I put a link about what size you need to get. It goes, you know, it's weird how the sizes work for compression socks, but they're meant to be tight, you know, because obviously you want them to be tight. You don't want them to be loose because obviously your foot's still gonna swell. But they're tight and they're hard to get on. They are so hard to get on. And y'all, my ankle is still healing at this point, so it still hurt. It's very tender. The ligaments, everything, you know, he got it cut during surgery. Everything was still sore and tender, and especially after walking on it. But I'll show you a picture of the compression socks in this video that I had on. They were like black compression socks. So during this time, I think my first physical therapy appointment wasn't going to be to that following Friday. This is in 2019. I got my cast off May 31st, 2019. And my first appointment for physical therapy was going to be June 7th, 2019, y'all. So the doctor had told me to be doing, you know, get like a belt and be doing some exercises with my ankle. You know, trying to flex it, go to the left, go to the right, you know, the loosen it up, you know, so it won't be so stiff. And y'all, I was so anxious to try to get a pair of shoes on my left foot because I broke my left ankle. I tried to put on a pair of tennis shoes, child. Well, I just, my foot was still swollen, but I just want to see, could I get my foot in my tennis shoes and, you know, how it would feel if I could stand in them. But at this point, I wasn't even supposed to be like trying to put on shoes, y'all. So, but you know, curiosity gets to you. You just want to know. I just put it on just to see what it looked like. And I'll show pictures of that. And I still had my little, I still was using a walker, even though I was supposed to be using my crutches, putting, you know, 50 to, working my way up to 100% weight bearing. I still have my little walker, child. I have my little tennis shoes on. And the reason being is because, y'all, I missed so much. Like, I was supposed to be going to my best friend graduation for her master's in California in May. Couldn't do it because it wasn't authorized to fly. And that hurt my heart. I know she was hurt by that too, but I couldn't make it. And then my sister, who had just turned 50 last year, the previous year, she had a major surgery, so she couldn't really celebrate her 50th birthday. So she had said she wanted to go to the beach in the spring. I had booked the hotel and everything. We supposed to be doing that. Had to cancel all of that. Luckily, I was able to get refunds on my flight, California, the hotel, and all that stuff like that. But then it was one other thing that I had already booked, y'all. And plus, I was planning on go visit my brother in Texas. Couldn't fly. Couldn't fly. Wasn't authorized. And then I had booked this ticket to go to what they call the Tycoon Music Festival. Was going to have all my like favorite artists. Some of them like T.I., you know, like Chris Brown and all the rest of them. They were going to be there, and I was just like, I ain't gonna go to the concert. Can I not go to the concert? But the concert was June 8th, so that's why I was so anxious to get this cast off my ankle and get into a walking boot. So I was still like, because I couldn't get my money back. I didn't buy insurance on the concert ticket, and that is expensive. So I couldn't get that. I was like, oh my God. But I didn't buy the most expensive ticket either, to be under the shelter. I bought it on the grass, you know, because most of the fun is on the grass. But it was going to be at a new theater that I'd never been before, so I didn't know how I was going to be able to see. But yeah, being on the grass, I think it was a Lakewood Amphitheater or whatever. But being on the grass there wasn't a good spot to watch a concert. But anyway, I was determined, y'all. I was determined to go to this concert. And then I didn't want to be by myself. My husband didn't really want to go because he didn't really want to see the people. And I was like, well, I want to go to that concert. He was trying to talk me out of it, but I was wanting to go, y'all. You know, after being cooped up in the house for them weeks, I was ready to get out and do something. So, I convinced my sister and her and my brother-in-law to take me and go with me, so I bought them tickets. It was kind of hard to get tickets too because, woo, it was just crazy at the last minute. I had been purchased my ticket, you know. So my husband, he was just gonna drop me off, and I was gonna have fun at the concert by myself. But so I convinced them. So the next, you know, thing I'll show you is me, like, you know, probably towards the end, going to the concert. You know, I was in the wheelchair, honey, too, and we got special VIP access for me being in the wheelchair. So we got to sit in the, you know, the handicap section for the concert. So that was pretty cool. It's some perks to, you know, breaking your ankle here and there. But also, I had started buying this some oils and what is called Arnicare cream and vitamin E oil to start putting on my foot. You know, the Arnicare cream is to help reduce inflammation, the pain, and all that. And then the vitamin E oil was obviously to, you know, I was trying to help my wounds heal faster, but you're not supposed to get anything inside them. But I kind of put it around my wounds, you know, as you saw my feet in the other one. But I started wearing those compression socks though. But I'm gonna stop here and show y'all pictures of how my foot was looking. This is just day 2 after I had wore the compression socks. So you saw previously my feet were looking like they were really swollen early in the video. Now you're gonna see what my feet look like just day 2 after walking on it and after wearing those compression socks. I'll show that next too, and I'll show a picture of the Arnicare cream and the vitamin E oil in case you will want to purchase those. I think I was ordering most of everything off of Amazon, so you can find it on Amazon. But I'll stop here. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna talk some more. All right, so you saw all of that, and then I was starting to do those little exercises with my ankle with like a belt, just an old belt, trying to flex the ankle like this, go to the left, to the right, even before I started my physical therapy, because your ankle's really stiff, and the whole objective of physical therapy is get that ankle loose again, so it can move again, so it can remember that it can move. You know, your brain is like forgot that you can even walk on it. So, so I'll show some pictures of that too. I mean, you know, you just see me with the little belt trying to do little exercises or whatever like that. And I also show pictures of what my foot and ankles looking like after wearing those compression socks and everything. If I hadn't already, I can't remember. But but anyway, I was doing all that. Let me see. I'm trying to remember what all else I was. Oh. And so then remember the doctor wanted me to sleep in the walking boot too, y'all. That is the most uncomfortable thing in the world. But I'll show you a picture of that, me sleeping in the walking boot, honey. And I was still up on my wedge pillow to have it at a, you know, at an angle that's elevated above your heart, so the swelling, the blood can come towards your heart and reduce that swelling in the ankle. But the swelling causes a lot of that pain too in your ankle. And then not to mention I'm still sore and tender from the surgery where they cut and everything like that. And excuse me, and I'll show you, you know, you'll see pictures of my ankle where I've been putting that vitamin E oil on it, honey, because I'm trying to reduce the scarring. I'm trying to get them scabs to fall off as soon as possible, because as soon as they do, is healed, and the scab, you know, the wounds where they cut, and I can submerge my ankle and foot in water. I can take a full bath without worrying about the ankle getting wet and get possibly infected and all that stuff. But basically, this is leading up to the week after I got the walking boot on, and I'll show you also my first day of physical therapy is that following that Friday, June 7th, 2019. So I have like I think my husband, he did like a little video of me in my little therapy session, but I wasn't really doing a whole lot. I came in there with the walker, honey. I didn't even come in there with the crutches. He was like, why are you using a walker? He's like, why you don't have your crutches? I said, well, I don't feel comfortable with the crutches. And he's like, well, you know, next time, you know, come with the crutches. I'm like, I really don't want to, but I think I came in there a couple more times still with the walker, but I think eventually I came with the crutches, because he was like, well, the whole objective is to get you down to walking down to one crutch before your next appointment to see your follow with your doctor, because I was supposed to be doing like physical therapy for over a course of 4 weeks. And as you saw, for the prescription of physical therapy, it was going to be for 3 times a week for 4 weeks until my follow-up with the doctor in the next month in July. But in the first video, I don't even think you're going to see me doing too much. I didn't even know my husband was recording, but yeah, but they knew when we told them, you know, he was recording, for me to see the playback of me, you know, my progress, I guess. But this was the very first day, and my ankle, y'all, was still sore. I mean, it was still sore. Just even put pressure on it, it just hurt. And plus, that walking boot wasn't the most comfortable one. And for some reason, it felt like every time I tried to step, it sounded like it was something stopping me. And I didn't know if it was because of the walking boot or whatever. So you'll see in the video where the therapist, he's trying to figure out if it is the walking boot, and he's bending down, trying to see if it is. But I think later on, as I talk about my progress, I'll tell you what I really think it was. But we just didn't know at that time. I think he thought that I was just being a little punk or something, because he really didn't think that. But in my mind, I thought he thought I was a punk, because I was like, I can't move. I was like, every time I walk, something's like stopping me. I can't walk in this boot. You know, I feel like I'm going to fall over. So it was just... it was just crazy, y'all. Let me see if there's anything else that I need to be talking about. But I'll show that video, first day in physical therapy. Then I'll show you what my ankle and foot look like, because like I said, after you walk on it, you know, it's just, yeah, it's gonna get swollen, it's gonna be sore. You know, you'll know when you're overdoing it, because your ankle would tell you you're overdoing it. You're not gonna be able to walk that well on it. But yeah, but then I, you know, supposed to ice it after physical therapy, you know, rest it, elevate it, ice it. I was supposed to do the exercise. I'll show y'all a picture of the exercises too, a little snippet of some exercise I'm supposed to do while I'm at home. You know, as far as what we do in physical therapy, then I'm supposed to do homework at home, moving the ankle, going this way with the ankle and this way with the ankle, and so on and so forth, like that. And then at the end of this video, you'll just see little snippets of me going to the concert in my little wheelchair, honey. I'm at the concert. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play the music in the video, because copyright laws, but I'll try to put one in it. You might not hear any music, but I'll try to sneak one in there or whatever. So anyway, just watch it, and I hope this is helping somebody. That's the whole purpose of me doing these videos. So if you know of anybody that you think can benefit from this, please share, like the video, and have them subscribe. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom down there, and that way they'll get notifications when I post a new video. So all right, enjoy what's coming up next. Bye. No, that's what it feels to me. Really good. See, it feels like I'm leaning backwards, and it's putting more pressure on my wrist, which hurts. That hurts.
Because you already do that.
Yeah, it hurts. But I mean, it just feels.
Yeah.
It hurts. Hurts more than anything. That better?
That's a little better.
It don't feel. It feels very awkward. Like everybody feels awkward. Is that normal?
Oh, here it is. It's new. New habit.
It's true.
My little